Welcome to another Let's Talk Jonesboro. Today we have representatives of the Northeast Arkansas Delta Symphony, and it's a pleasure to have Catherine Norvell and M.G. Meyering. Welcome, guys.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, thank you.
We're keeping our masks on because there's three of us on the couch, and it's social distancing era, but there's a lot going on despite all that with the Delta Symphony Orchestra. M.G., you're the vice president, so tell us what has been going on and how you have adapted through the COVID to continue to provide people with entertainment.
2020 has just been a remarkable year in many ways for a lot of nonprofits, but for us especially because unlike a lot of nonprofit organizations, we are 100% out in the front. That's, we provide entertainment for people. So when the problem came down about mass gatherings and social distancing and all of that, we, like other orchestras around the nation, were cut short, cut off at the knees, really, because we lost our ability to have live concerts. So we had to start thinking outside of the box. And when you have people that have, me included, you think one way for an organization that works. It's like, why reinvent the wheel? But we had to. So we decided that we would go to virtual concerts instead, and that's why we have joined up with the city to provide concerts every week that people can tune into at their home and enjoy like they were there. These are pre-recorded concerts that have been done as long as probably 3 or 4 years ago, maybe, but are still very relevant, and the music is great. The quality's not quite like when you're there in a concert, but it would be just like if you were to watch any concert on television and enjoy music that you grew up with or whatever. So that's what we've had to do, and it's our way of staying relevant. It's our way of staying in front of the public, just to remind them, hey, we're still here. We're still here, and we're still trying to do our part to give you good quality music throughout the year, throughout this pandemic, however long it lasts.
Right, and they've done that. You guys figured out a way to do it last year, and you made some really nice shows that people could see virtually and still enjoy the orchestra. And
right.
I think that's a compliment to the dedication of everyone. And Catherine, you have been with the symphony for how long?
Just to the beginning of January, so I'm very new.
You are the new executive director. And just a little bit about Catherine. I think you told me you're a Jonesboro native who has seen the world and come back home.
Well, I don't know the entire world, but a little bit of it. And yes, I've come back home to my hometown here.
So tell us a little bit about your experiences. You lived in Chicago, Nashville, Memphis.
Oh, actually my background is in ancient history with some early American on that. So most of my work comes actually out of the museum field.
Okay.
With that, I've always kind of had a passion for music and classical music. I don't think I actually have the talent for it. I played clarinet a bit in high school, but that's really where I tap out. But I love being around the energy and the creativity of musicians. It just constantly inspires me.
It's inspiring, yes.
There's a lot of people on our board that are not classically trained musicians, me included. And I enjoy music of all different genres, but
right.
If you gave me a violin or a trumpet, I wouldn't know the first thing about how to make that sound good.
No, not. I can make the sound. I thought, but you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, yeah. I'll leave that to the experts.
Exactly. Well, tell us what you've got on tap for 2021.
We are working on that right now. One of the things that we had to curtail for 2020 was doing our annual Gala. And that's our biggest fundraiser of the year. And, you know, that's a dinner that we get together, and we sell tickets to the dinner. We have a live and silent auction. We have entertainment. And we just weren't able to do that this year, obviously. So what we did instead are a group of smaller fundraisers. We did a cookie bake sale in December, and for, you know, for putting something together really quickly, and rolling up our sleeves and just really getting creative with it, we did a pretty good job. Now in Valentine's Day for February this month, we are doing a brownie slam.
Oh, no.
And this is going to be a box of a dozen brownies for your loved ones in 3 different flavors. In a chocolate, a peppermint chocolate, and a blonde brownie with walnuts. And I've tasted all 3 several times. and I'm here to tell you, they're amazing. They're amazing.
Well, there goes the diet.
Yeah, right, yeah. So we're going to be selling those at $22 a box.
Yes.
And actually, it's going to be a baker's dozen, so there's going to be 1 extra in there. So if you want to partake before you give it to someone else, you'll never know the
Very
difference,
nice.
right?
Very nice.
And
yes.
and those will be available.
They are available. You can order through our Facebook page. Also, if you go to the website, the link there, or you can go to Eventbrite and search for us. You can also give me a call if you don't want to mess with the technology there at 761-8254, and I'll be happy to take your order that way as well.
So we've been doing things like that. We have also had some in-home concerts, and that was something that we started last year, and that went very, very well. We had different musicians come into homes and do small ensembles and small sets, people coming into homes and singing, and those in-home concerts were anywhere from, I would say, 30 people to 70 people. And that was at its height right before the pandemic struck. So since then, I think we've had maybe a couple of those. I'm not quite sure, but of course, you know, they've been in a much smaller group setting. One thing that we're planning for the 2021 season, hopefully, is to do the excerpts from the concert of the musical Ragtime. Mm. And if you're not familiar with Ragtime, that was the popular music of the anywhere from like 1905 to about 1920, and it was the very I guess far-reaching type music of the era. It would be like hip hop is today, or you know, it wasn't for everyone, and not everyone appreciated it, but a lot of people were doing it. Okay, right. And so we're going to be putting on that musical, and then beforehand, we're hoping to also have a fundraiser where we have kind of like a ragtime event where we serve hors d'oeuvres and have singing and dancing, and you know, providing that this whole thing, you know, pans itself out, and we can start meeting once again like we should.
Like we should.
Yeah. So so we've got a lot of things in the works, but of course, you know, every day's a new day. And every day, as we get more and more information on the pandemic, we're having to, you know, shift our gears a little bit and say, okay, well then let's try this. Let's go here. And so we're here. We're just, you know, we're here. We're working. Yeah.
It takes the effort to stay on top of everything.
It does.
It does. You know, where everybody wants to say they learned this, but if you learned it 2 months ago, it may not be relevant right now.
And we have a fantastic board of directors that really have rolled their sleeves up and gotten to work. So
that's fabulous.
Yes.
Catherine, you've been here a month, but you have probably in that time learned some of the things that you like and some of the obstacles that you face and what you're trying to accomplish. Tell us a little bit behind the scenes, what you see that the DSO does that impresses you, and the things that you want to adjust.
Oh, well, I'm just amazed by their desire to get out and just really help people that don't normally get exposed to classical music, so to get their programs out to the schools and to people that just don't have the opportunity to go see a symphony on a regular basis. So we're working on a few things right now. One of them is smaller ensemble groups. The first one we'll be doing with strings and recording, and hopefully getting that out on social media and some other formats. And another is working with children's books, kind of similar to the books program, aimed at younger children and incorporating classical music into a narrative.
Now tell me about that. When you say a children's book, you put music to it?
Yes.
Okay, so Green Eggs and Ham now has a tune?
Well, we're actually trying to theme more children's books to more classical pieces. Maybe if you can think a little bit like Fantasia and other things like that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That is fabulous. You know, you got to reach that younger age, and you know it's hard to do it if you aren't trying to reach them at their point, because you know I recall as a kid somebody bringing maybe an oboe to class or something, and I'm thinking the Doobie Brothers don't have one of these, and so but you can make it cool, and you guys have proven that you can make it cool to the younger people.
Mm-hmm.
What is the magic behind that? How does that work?
I think the magic behind it is finding out where the younger population is going with music, and trying to fit our goals into that that working that they're at this point energized in. You know, I heard something that really struck a chord with me. I heard that music is so important to our culture, and we don't realize how important it is, but it's so important to our culture that it actually helps us be better mathematicians because of the way that it subconsciously works in our minds. And you know, and you have the beats, and you have the it, you know, it's divided into the scales and the sections and everything like that. You wouldn't think that listening to music would actually help you in math, but as I've read up on this, and as I've experienced it myself, because I have to use math every day, and I'm not that good at it yet, but I'm still learning, you know. But I think that the music that we listen to influences that, and so you know, keeping it in our schools, number one, is vitally important. Not shorting our art studies in education. Keeping those very important. They're just as important as sports. You know, I think sports are important, but music is very important too. The arts are very important.
The arts are
and
at least as important.
Absolutely. And you know, I believe that you know, when we all come down to it, there is a portion of education that helps us in every portion of our lives, every day. Things that we do in our lives. And it was just a very interesting thing that I read that I had never considered, but yes, that music actually helps us with the math portion of our brains, and I can see how it does. It's a very interesting study.
That is a very interesting study, and I wish I could do more than figure a batting average. I think the dollar sign in front of the numbers is what messes with me more than.
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah.
I need to put on some DSO while I'm doing my balancing my budget. So, that would be a real good thing.
Right.
So we've got the fundraiser, the Brownie Slam, coming up, and everybody, sadly, everybody loves brownies.
Yes,
So
yes.
you got some coming from me for sure. But
Absolutely. Right.
what else? Do you have a performance, whether virtual or you talked about ensembles, Catherine? Do you have anything like that coming up? Anything else that we need to talk about?
We were looking at putting some more on the Channel 24, the kind of the 30-minute programs like we had been doing. So we should
Right.
have some more of those coming in the next month or two.
And we are one of the vehicles, their government channel 24, it's on Sudden Link, but we also put them on the city YouTube channel. I know the DSO has other outlets. What are some of your other outlets that you can find performances?
Facebook, right?
We do some on Facebook. We also have a YouTube channel. It's just Delta Symphony Orchestra, if you can.
Right,
Look
yeah,
that up.
so
So,
follow
yes.
like the Delta Symphony Orchestra on Facebook, on YouTube, on the City of Jonesboro Facebook page, and Channel 24. So we love spreading the word about these talented musicians from all over the region, not just Jonesboro, but you got the best of the best, and the music is the best of the best. So guys, thank you for taking time to come visit with us on Let's Talk Jonesboro.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you
You
so
guys
much.
are wonderful. Thank you.